today is how you can fail in real estate, because I believe strongly that when you don't know how to do something, or you've refused to learn how to do something over a period of time, what will happen is that first you get to try as a newbie. After trying, and eventually you can get a hold of it. Or you can allow maybe someone else's mistakes help in such a way that you don't lose your hard-earned money. So welcome back to my live section. I can just hear myself, so I can, the voice is clear and you can see me. So whenever you watch this video, I would like to know where you're watching from, and most especially if you have any question regarding real estate here in Abuja, do not hesitate to ask questions, or also reach out to the numbers in the description box below. All right, so my name is Esther and I help you buy safely here. So without wasting further time, let's jump right into it. So, how do you invest in such a way that you don't fail? The truth is that sometimes with knowledge, you avoid failing, you avoid losing your money, you avoid being scammed, you avoid buying locations that you're not supposed to buy. Okay, so those things just helps you with the right knowledge here and there. It helps you get your act together. It's like someone trying to drive for the first time. So you either have someone who teaches you, or you can figure it out yourself with a little bruises here and there, a little scratch on the car here and there, but eventually you will skill, right? That is how it is, and or that is how I decide to also associate it to. You can figure it out. Yes, most people can figure it out, okay, by themselves. Sometimes you get little hitches there and there, but along the line, you can stabilize. But imagine if someone had gone ahead, made mistakes, and giving you a blueprint. All you need to do is go test run, see what is happening, come back, ask questions. They will, okay, there'll be a projection for you, and you'll eventually see how to navigate through real estate investment. So the first one is when you buy land that is cheap instead of buying right. I would say that there's nothing absolutely wrong with you buying cheap properties. The intention at the end of the day is the challenge. So when people see affordable properties, they literally jump in on it without now asking questions. That is the mistake. That is how you can feel nicely. Okay, and there are a lot of examples to explain this. All right, you see a property too good to be true. As much as it's fantastic, then start asking questions about it so that you can be clear before you start making payments. That's the first thing you have to do. People should never, price should never be the first question. If price is the first question or the first attraction, then the next thing you have to do is find out the other questions, which I'm going to also list out for you, so that you can ensure that all the package is right before you go ahead to make payment. So welcome back to my life. I'm talking about how you can fail, or anyone can fail when it comes to real estate investment. And I believe anybody can watch this and pick a lesson or two so that the person can invest right. The second thing, okay, the first thing I've talked about is buying cheap instead of buying right. And I also established the fact that there's absolutely nothing wrong with you buying cheap, but you just have to get the right intentions as you buy cheap. The next point is when you buy without verifying ownership. Yes, I've seen people buy without asking who is the owner, who are the ones selling, because sometimes the owners of the properties are not the people you are talking to. It could be professional realtors, they could be developers, they could be any, in fact, they could be your friends or family members. All right. And when you now reach out to them, ensure you find out who the owner is. Okay, because it helps you understand what you are buying. Because sometimes is first, what was the word? It's surprising to know that sometimes people buy properties without finding out who the owner is. All right. In fact, when you ask questions and the answers are not coming, that's the more reason why you should hold on. All right. Property is not something that is cheap. It's not a cheap commodity. So if you are doing business or you're buying land, you should find out who owns the land, because it changes a lot of things, which that's not the course of this video. Now, if you check around my channel, you see that I've done a lot of videos explaining this. Okay, the next thing is, after you've seen the documents, you also verify them. The third point I'm going to talk about is you invest without knowing your exit strategy. What does this mean? Yes, sometimes there is, in fact, most of the time, if you are investing, there should be an exit strategy in your head, which can be, I know over a period of time, it can change here and there, but start with having a strategy on how, oh, I'm buying this for this. But eventually you now realize, this thing has changed, then move it to this. Do you understand? So that's how much of having an exit strategy can do for anyone who wants to buy right and eventually not fail in real estate. Have an exit strategy. So what are the examples of exit strategy you can have? First, you can buy with the intention of, I want to build in this location. And the building can be my family house, or I want to build a block of apartments, or I want to build for shortless, or I want to build a hotel. Do you understand? There are exit strategies. So the first point or the first step is, oh, I want to buy a land, or I'm buying a land. Then after the buying of the land, you can now figure it out. So find and know your exit strategy before buying that property. All right. A lot of examples are that when people ask, they ask you, oh, or when I ask, rather, when you reach out to me, that's one of the questions I'll always ask you: why are you buying? And sometimes when I give examples, it becomes clear to them to know why they are actually buying. And some people also buy so that at the end of the day, they flip and get their money. That is also an exit strategy. So you see that with that kind of goal, there are properties you should actually look out for. Every property is not for you. So if you are buying so that eventually you build your dream house, say in this stipulated period of time, there are properties you should look out for. Every property is not for you. So you see why knowing why and how you exit matters a lot, so that you can exit properly. And even if the plan changes along the line, which happens most of the time, it doesn't defer the fact that you had a plan initially. It changes the whole lot. Okay, so if you're finding value in this video, don't hesitate to hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel. So the fourth point is, when you ignore the owner's track record. Okay, so now you found out who is the owner. Then the next thing you have to do is, what are their track records? What has these people done before? How do these owners treat their clients? All right, you have to have a way on tracking people to help you, that even if something happens in the future, they will not leave you and run away. Okay, so find out about the track record of the owners of that property. With that, you also know that you are buying right the right way, because sometimes people ignore this. They ignore this with the hope that it is good. Some developers will literally put their back even when things go wrong, or some things happen. They will ensure that every client who had trusted them gets something. Some, when life hits them or anything happens, you will not hear from them again. They don't give you, they won't give you explanation. They won't explain what is the problem. All you just hear from them is silence. So try and find out how people or the owners of this property relate, or how they live normally. It will help answer a lot of questions to you. All right. Thank you very much. No, I'm just teaching. Thank you very much. I appreciate. All right. So the last and the final point is, when you follow the noise, or when you follow the attraction rather than following the growth location. You know, there are some times that a property can come to the market with a lot of noise, but there are no growth projections with the property. Okay, so one thing that happened, I can't remember I remember the person buying the property in Lagos. So there was a lot of rush with that particular property. And one of the major attractions were the prices. So it was like buy six, get two, like those kind of massive buying and getting free things. Nigerians love things like that. A lot of people jumped in. All right. It was ridiculously cheap. And eventually, when people finished buying it, there was silence all around. All right. So what happened is that business went back, literally, just in summary. All right. And that is a typical example of you follow the hype without the growth. All right. Obviously, there was nothing happening there even till today. So do not make that mistake, or this is something people do so that eventually they can buy the wrong way, or you can fail at real estate. When I say failing at real estate, it means that first, you tried doing something on your own without knowledge. Secondly, you also didn't want to learn. It's two different things. You can't, either someone teaches you indirectly or indirectly for you to get it right. But I still believe that some people are who they are. They will decide to try it for themselves first, all right, to make the mistakes, learn the lessons, then eventually they get it right, which is absolutely great. Nothing wrong with that. But if you are someone who you actually want to get investing right, you don't want to fail at it, then these are the 5 basic steps you should not neglect for whatever reason. If one is good, two is good, the next one you should pay attention. All right. If two is great, three is great. The fourth one, please don't ignore it. Don't say, oh, because one is great, two is great, three is great, you now ignore the fourth and the fifth one. Every point here has something it covers. So ensure that these 5 points, all they are covered. Ensure that it ticks out the box in any property you are looking out to buy in Abuja. The first point, let me go through it as I round up. I'm talking about how to fail normally. How you can invest and be rest assured that you just invested in rubbish in real estate. And I mentioned the first one is when you buy cheap, just cheap properties instead of you buying the right properties. And I've explained that. So at the end of the life, you can go through and watch them. The second one is when you buy without verifying ownership. So find out who owns the property. All right. Then the next one is when you invest without having an exit strategy. What is your goal towards that property you are buying? Having the goal and having the exit strategy helps you to buy the right one. The fourth point is when you ignore the owner's track record. The person or the individual or the company you are buying from makes a whole lot of difference. Then the fifth and the final one is you follow the hype, you follow noise, you follow that, ooh, the attraction is so much instead of following growth and ignoring the rest. Okay, so with these 5 points, I'll be rest assured and glad that if you stick to this, you will definitely buy the right property. But if you ignore them, be rest assured that you may most likely fail or lose your hard-earned money. Another example that I would like to point out before I take my leave is sometimes when you have family members, church members, like people around, friends, families that you are sending, please, as you are sending them also, you check out these 5 things so that when they bring you their reports and you check what you've done, it will tally. All right. So if you found value here, don't hesitate to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel or follow me right here. And if you need genuine property right here in Abuja and you need someone to hold you by the hand to navigate through buying property in Abuja, then you can reach me or send me a message, then I can help you get started. My name is Esther, and I help you buy profitable, genuine, and real property here in Abuja. And till I come your way again,